Hello, Michelle Seidling. Welcome to Entrepreneur Talks podcast run by Women Flix. I'm so grateful for you to be here with me today.
Yola, I am fantastically excited to be
Oh,
here. It's as one entrepreneur to another, we've got a lot to talk about, and it's an exciting time to be an entrepreneur, but
oh,
it's an important time in terms of health and wellness.
so true. So, tell me, where are you talking from? Which country or city or in the
I'm in the
universe?
sta- I'm in the States. I'm in Minnesota, and I help people worldwide actually with really getting clarity on their health, really prioritizing their health. And especially with entrepreneurs and particularly women entrepreneurs, that's such a crucial topic to discuss with you today.
So, that's amazing. And what made you start this business the way, because you are really focused, like you mentioned, on in women, especially in women, but how and why?
Well, I think it's all about what I call feeding your passions. I personally have always had a passion for learning and for knowledge, not just in school, but a lot of different professional development opportunities through the years. I'm a military veteran, so I served a lot doing a lot of communications and training, working with people, one-on-one groups. I just really, that kind of lit the fire for me, lit that spark, if you will. And then going on with graduate school and I served in an academic career for a while, really just kind of almost paying it forward, with the education that I received, then I pay it forward with helping people to light their own spark of learning.
Hmm. And
I've
I
always been, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, tell me, you always do.
I've always been kind of a foodie into to health and wellness at a personal level, but I think the real kind of the spark, if you will, to kind of pay that forward in terms of health and wellness just came from that desire for learning and how I can share my talents with that with health and wellness in more of a personal way, more of a connected way. And
Yeah.
women entrepreneurs, as an entrepreneur myself, I can relate a lot to what women are going through. I'm not sure about the stats in the UK, but in the US, 31 million entrepreneurs, 12.3 million of them are women. So we've got a big workforce. There's that big drive
Yeah.
for learning and for creativity. For me, it was about paying it forward and really helping women to be on their game, to really have that clarity,
That's
have
all.
that creativity, and to start out with, the most important thing, if people take nothing else from this podcast, the most important thing is that they matter. That
Mm.
health tends to take a back seat, particularly with entrepreneurs, as they try to, just you and
Yeah.
I know we're just busy doing everything for everyone, and we tend to take a back seat in terms of our health until our health suffers if we develop an illness or an injury of some kind. But it doesn't have to be that way. As you prioritize your health, you're able to have more of that creativity, more of that innovation and drive that you want and that you need, regardless of what type of business you have, whether it be a product or a service or some combination of that. But you want to be on your game, whether you're in a meeting,
Yeah.
whether you're you know doing what you do best. But and to be able to do that, you've got to prioritize your health, and it's a question of balancing. if you think about, fueling your car, whether it be a gas car or an electric or some other type of vehicle. But in order for that car to run properly, you've got to fuel it and you've got to do maintenance on it. And just like that, you yourself need fuel and maintenance. You can't run like there's a thing, the Energizer Bunny. Keep running and running and running. We can go 24/7 with nothing. You can't keep doing that.
I love it. I love it. This is so true, Michelle. Thank you so much. I really agree with you, because when it comes to our productivity life, or our health, like you say, for we being amazing in our work, in our business, and whatever we do, we need to be aware of our health when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to other sides of health, our own health. And that's amazing.
Absolutely. I love the quote. One of my favorite quotes is from success coach Hal Elrod, when he said, the moment you accept responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain the power to change anything in your life. I love that, because you determine your success. Yeah. And that's crucial. Once you say, okay, I'm going to accept responsibility for my health, I'm going to accept responsibility for the environment that I put myself in, the education I'm receiving, the knowledge that I'm gaining, the skills that I'm acquiring. It's up to me. Success is up to you. Right. And when you do that, when you accept responsibility, you have that power to determine how well you're on your game as an entrepreneur, and how well you're able to do what you need to do, whether you're balancing your entrepreneur life with a family life or with other responsibilities. Okay. But it's up to you to do that. No one can live your life for you, so to speak.
It's so good, because we as entrepreneurs, we have been going through that. Actually, I can talk about myself when to build up my business and see myself like more than 8 hours working, having some breaks, because I'm aware and I'm conscious. But my nutrition, I could see my nutrition going down, because I completely forgot to eat. Now I'm much better, but it's just the excitement is so good. But then after a couple of days, I would feel very tired. Something was reacting on my body, telling me, you need to stop. You need to stop this way, this routine, because it really brings something else afterwards. Some illness, like you mentioned, or tiredness. The focus is not, it ends up not working properly. A lot of things that could be a benefit for if we do a right nutrition and the right timing, like as well, planning the exact time for work during a day. I think if we don't have this thing, it just goes in the opposite way. And that brings a lot of bad things to ourselves. And
absolutely.
We can't reduce or carry on the way of thinking. It's so true. It's so true. So, and Michelle, when it comes to food and wellness factors, what kind of focus they should do to stay on their game? Like I mentioned now, routines, and I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah. Excellent question, Yola. I think the factors that I focus on in with clients, with other conversations, I call it the 6 principles of positive food experiences. Oh, okay. And if you think about food, it's not just the food on your plate either. It's the food. What other things are you fueling your life with? What other knowledge and education are you gaining? What aspects of your health are you paying attention to? We talk a lot about self-care and really taking the time. Are you getting enough rest? Rest is huge in terms of your ability to focus and your ability to do what you do, not only quantity but quality of sleep. What are you focusing on in terms of people? I call it the people factor, in terms of the influence that people have on your food, what you're eating, what you're not eating, and also who you're associating with. Are you associating with positive people that are going to support you in your ability to prioritize your health, your relationships, if you think about that, your social life? Who are you associating with? Also, what the environment is super important. What type of environment? Are you just sitting at your desk, trying to wolf down some who knows what? Or are you paying attention? Are you being more mindful in terms of what you're eating, quantity and quality? In terms of that, your knowledge base, what kind of skills do you have, in terms of food, in terms of meal planning, in terms of cooking? Are you reliant on the drive-through, or can you make even a basic meal? Even building those skills are super important. And then really focusing on movement, on physical activity, on
yes,
pain. And then that motivation is super important in terms of goal setting, what you want for your health. So we do 6 principles: food, people, environment, knowledge base, interaction with people, interaction with food, and then motivation. And those 6 principles are more holistic. We're not just talking about the food on your plate.
yes,
Super important, but also what you're doing holistically for your health to be able to make sure that you're on your game. And as you really focus on more of a holistic you, what are you made out of? You've got your bones and your muscles and so forth, but you also have that drive and really improving your creativity. What you're putting in. Are you eating those brain foods, so to speak, that are healthy? Are you getting the rest that you need? Are you having a balance? Do you try to work 24/7? Probably doesn't work too well. Or are you just taking a break, doing what things that you love, doing hobbies that you love? Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's engaging in some sport. Maybe it's just relaxing at the spa. But regardless, just kind of making time for you. And I think women entrepreneurs in particular are kind of almost self-defeating in a way with regard to that, because they want to give so much. You want to give in your business. You want to have your interactions with your family, or maybe you're active in the community or other activities. But we're such givers that we forget to give to ourselves. And then if we're not on our game, so to speak, if we're not functioning properly, we can't do that. We can't be givers if you're not healthy, if you're tired all the time, if you just don't have that. And then that's going to affect your ability as an entrepreneur, with your creativity, with your innovation, with your ability to interact with different people. So really putting those things in a more holistic setting is key to success, especially as a woman entrepreneur.
Wow. And must be a very hard work as a women entrepreneur. Sure, you take long time because we are givers, like you mentioned, and then to step out of this, getting you like we so used to that, and getting into this like focus ourselves on this holistic way, which I love it and is so true important. Must be very hard. What is the main factors that you think like women entrepreneurs are facing related like with today, like right now, the challenge to food and wellness they face?
I think specifically with women entrepreneurs, I think the biggest thing is in terms of food quality and quantity.
Mm,
They, just grabbing something from your favorite fast food place, great once in a while, but not a lot. Just think about what is going to really help you. And we're talking about whole foods,
right.
not, you've got, regardless of what type of, whether you're vegan, whether you're an omnivore, you eat those things that are going to be healthy and keep your mind sharp and keep your body sharp. Those nuts and seeds, kind of fish, lean meats, leafy greens, things of that nature. But there are so many different recipes out there, and you don't have to be a professional chef. You don't have to make this elaborate meal for yourself or for your family every night. It
I
can be
love
very simple, but having those foods that are going to help you and really give you the long-term energy. Too
love
many of us, grab something and you get this temporary sugar high, and then you come crashing down, just before you're at an important meeting or something of that nature. But I think really focusing on the foods that matter, and also building consistent habits
Mm,
where, and are you eating healthy meals? For some of us that means maybe 3 big meals a day. Others may need smaller meals throughout the day. What are you doing in terms of your sleep habits? Entrepreneurs probably get the least amount of sleep. I don't have the stats on that, but I would venture, and I can tell personally, if I'm not, if I don't get the sleep that I need, if I'm not eating right, maybe I'm traveling somewhere or wherever, if I'm not in my routine and in my habits, I can tell there's a difference in my ability to focus, in my ability to have the energy that I need to do what I need to do.
yes.
So those are 2 things. And then really make time for physical activity. Get up off the chair, stand up, and go move, whether it
Do it.
be whether it be whether it be just taking a walk in your neighborhood, go walk your dog if you've got a dog,
Yeah.
or engage in a sport. Just make time, get out there and move your body, get some fresh air, get some, that, to me, when I go out for a walk, I get so much more clarity than if I'm just sitting here at my desk.
Yes.
I get inspiration for different ways to help my coaching clients, or I get inspiration for a new
Like book.
article or blog post or something of that nature. But you're just getting away from the busyness of your profession as an entrepreneur really, really helps.
Fantastic.
And then, thinking about your own capacities in terms, as an entrepreneur, you can, you decide what you're going to do, whether it be offering a product or a service. But thinking about your own knowledge, how you can build your knowledge, and balancing what means, what things mean to you in terms of, okay, am I really going overboard in terms of my capacities? Do I need to kind of pull back a little bit on the reins and maybe not try to scale my business, as much as I want, but really balancing your own health and your own capacities with your business.
It's so
So
powerful.
those are just a few of really the crucial things that, and perhaps you've, as a woman entrepreneur, Yola, maybe you've seen some of that in your own business.
Yes. Yes. It is. Yes, I've seen, and I keep seeing. But now I know. I will send them to you.
Great, thank you.
Honestly, I got someone that can talk and work on this, because this is it's so true, but it's something like you said from the beginning. It's something that sometimes we as entrepreneurs we really don't pay attention, and it's been one of my main focus these days. And I'm so glad that while I'm listening to you telling you should do this, and I'm like, yes, Yola, you're doing, yes, you're doing the right. Because I thought about it, I start to feel the way I was feeling, and all these things made me look for a better way of living, including in an holistic way. I'm not meaning just the food I'm eating, but the rest, the mind, the where, who I deal with, all these things that you've been talking. And I'm like, yeah, this is powerful. This is really powerful, and it's so true.
Yes, definitely. And you decide. The great thing is you decide what is the optimum schedule for me. What is the optimum set of habits for me? And sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error and see what works and what doesn't.
And
But once you get into that routine, once you're fueling yourself with healthy food, water, super important. Dehydration is way too prevalent, and it's so simple. Just have a water bottle next to you or your favorite beverage next to you, and make sure that you're hydrating. With the other things that we talked about with sleep and activity, but you decide what's going to work for you during the day. Think about your schedule from the time you open your eyes in the morning to the time you close them at night. What is going to work for me regarding balancing healthy habits among my day?
yes, and these things that you just spoke, they are part of the resources, right? Because I was about to ask you what resources are particularly helpful to take charge of our health. And you just
Absolutely.
mentioned the water. Is that part of the resources, right?
That's a great resource. Yes. But in terms of, taking charge of your health, you're not alone. Um, you know, there are human resources. You've got, I would encourage you to enlist the assistance of a health coach or some other type of trainer. There are also the people around you, whether it be friends or whether it be family members who are able to help you to whether it be just talking about your health goals or helping you actionize them. There are also apps to help you with meal planning, with looking up simple recipes or elaborate recipes if you'd like. There are things that you have grocery delivery. You have just different services, going to the spa, engaging in different physical activities, engaging in different educational, professional development as an entrepreneur, keeping your mind sharp as well as your body sharp. There are a lot of books, videos, things of that nature to really help you hone in on your health, whether it be a specific aspect of personal development. Maybe you're trying to really hone in on self-care or look into the nutrient levels of different foods. But there are a lot of different technologies and resources to help you. And it doesn't have to be, you don't need to sit there looking through a recipe book for hours and on end. Make it simple. Make the technologies and the assistants work for you to help you to build those habits. They don't take the place of you, but as you become involved and use the services and the apps or the products that you have, that kind of eases the burden a little bit. Right. A lot of times we think, oh man, paying attention to my health, eating right, it's just going to take too much time. I don't have time. I'm a busy entrepreneur. But if you don't, it's going to backfire. And it's probably not going to be the most convenient time that it backfires. You may come down with an illness or an injury. That is preventable if you would take a step back and build those habits that are really going to help you be on your game and really have that, so you can have that drive and that creativity and continue to be that giver and really, really pay it forward in terms of the talents that you've developed in your business and that you want to be able to serve people with, regardless of what type of business you've gone into.
Yes, right. And not forgetting, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me, if all we've done as women entrepreneurs creating business and so on, we also, regarding this aspect, these factors, this wellness behavior, like treat yourself better, has to be a plan. Because people, like you mentioned before, how I'm going to do all this? I need to prepare my food. I need to look for an app. But if it's a plan behind, everything can happen. Everything can work. Because sometimes people get overwhelmed when they listen a message like this and they think, oh, this is too much. I'm just trying to see, like, if someone is listening and then go like, oh, it's too much. I don't know how to do this. Of course, we have Michelle, we have other coaches around in the world to help you. But one of the things you will also learn is to create a plan that will work for yourself. Is that correct? Right, Michelle? Do you agree?
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree, Yola. Having a plan is important. If you're just going to kind of randomly try this or that, it may work for a very short time, but you've got to have a plan in place and really think about what you want. Why you think, oh, well, I should be eating better, for example. Or, think about why you want to eat better. What is it going to, how is it going to help you? And really having that behind the scenes motivation as to why you're doing things. Then you'll be able to come up with that plan. I love the quote from organizational psychologist Benjamin Hardy when he said, when the why is strong enough, you'll figure out the how. So really understanding, what are your motivations? Why do you want to eat better or to increase your physical activity or whatever it is? But really, how is that going to help you? And particularly as a woman entrepreneur, how is that going to help you be even better? And then you'll have that drive, so you'll be more likely to implement those habits and continue those habits over the long term. Because it's not enough to say, okay, a lot of us, okay, maybe I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever it is, or I want to eat healthier. Okay, yeah, you may go and you may achieve that. Great. But what's your maintenance plan? Because too many people, they're really gung-ho and they go forward and they do something. They say, oh, I've arrived at this, I've achieved my goal, yay. But then they go back to their old habits. And then, of course, everything that they have achieved goes the opposite direction. So really having a maintenance plan or a plan in place overall is important as to, hey, here's what I want. Here's how we're going to make it happen. And then here's the maintenance plan going forward. A lot of times, we may not necessarily be able to see that far into the long term. But as you do that, you'll be able to be a better entrepreneur. You'll be able to see, okay, what's really, as an entrepreneur, we create, business plans that are, 5 years out, 10 years out, but yet we can't seem to think long term in terms of our own health. So think about, almost think of your health as your business. How are you going to really maximize that and to really bring it to fruition, bring health to fruition? And I think that's super, super important to be able to have that motivation and drive to know what you want and why you want it.
Yes, good point there about the planning as we plan for a business. Really good point. So now, Michelle, my last question is coming. I would stay here forever because I'm loving this conversation, but we have to go for the end. And I would like to ask you to tell my listeners where they can find you and connect with you on the social media or website, etc.
Absolutely. The best place to connect with me is at foodexperienceunplugged.com. There we've got a lot of resources to help you as an entrepreneur to really, really reach in and find your why and really get clarity on your goals. I'm also available on Facebook and LinkedIn, where you'll put those links up there.
Yes.
And particularly for your listeners, I'm offering a free 45-minute breakthrough session to really help you get clarity on your goals, whether they be something big or maybe you just want to implement some small habits to really hone in on your ability and your clarity. So I hope that your listeners will be able to access that and go to that. I'd love to speak with each and every one of you on your goals, and let's get you looking forward and really focusing so you can focus on your business, focusing on you so you can focus on others.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle. And before we go, let me just tell you and the listeners as well, because all these links of everything that Michelle just spoke about it, the description of the social media where you can find Michelle will be on the description of the podcast when it's coming live. So everyone, please click on the links, find more about her website and herself, and get connected. Get this free session. You don't have anything to lose. You just have everything to win. Is a great and amazing session that I think you shouldn't be losing the opportunity. And once again, Michelle, thank you. Thank you for being here with me and at Entrepreneurs Talks podcast run by WomenFlix. We are grateful for your presence.
Oh, Yola, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. As one entrepreneur to another, we are the priority. And it's been a real pleasure really talking with you and your listeners as we gain clarity on issues that are important to women entrepreneurs.
Great. You take care. And I'm sure we're going to keep in touch because I just love to meet you, and we will keep in touch and sharing some knowledge and networking for sure. You take care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yola.
You're welcome. Bye.